TY9YUG standing by.
Attention, attention, attention. This is the Tao Net C of the day. I am your net controller, TY4HAA, Tango Yankee 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha. If you are around and would like to check in, please come now with your call sign.
CSG Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
Tango Yankee 9, Yankee uniform, echo, echo, echo.
Tango Yankee 4, Lima, Echo in the India.
Tango Yankee 3, Whiskey November Golf, TY3 WG.
TY2, sorry, Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India.
Tango Yankee 2, Foxtrot, November Golf.
Net controller and everyone, remind everyone that the net is being recorded for training purposes. TY9YUG.
Anyone else that would like to join, please come forward with your call sign. I do recognize TY2CHG, Charlie Hotel Golf, TY9YUE, Yankee Unicorn Echo, TY4LEI, Lima Echo India, TY3WNG, Whiskey November Golf, TY2GEI, Golf Echo India, and TY2FNG, Foxtrot November Golf. All right, please note that this is an open discussion format, and I'll begin with a topic, and when it's your turn, you can continue on it or bring up a new topic to the table. Reminder that we all have about 3 minutes on the timer. Please wrap up around the 3-minute mark and continue to talk on the next round if you have feeling yourself run out of time. I'll begin the net with an observation that I saw today. And once I've finished that observation, I'll call on the next person. Please say your call sign at the beginning and end of your message. There was talk of different things today regarding our past and things that we've experienced. We've all experienced helplessness, fear, and frustration and anger at situations out of our immediate control. And sometimes our past treatment keeps us locked into a pattern of immobility or indecision that we describe to ourselves as safety. There are traditions, and sometimes those traditions are transgressions from what I've experienced about traditions. They are somewhat superstitious, a tiny bit of fact, and a whole bunch of fear around it. How do I know this? Because it starts off with, oh, we can't talk about it. It's bad luck. Oh, we shouldn't question it. It's bad form. Oh, we can't talk to that person like that because it's a disrespectful. Punishment will follow, surely. So my question or my topic is traditions. What have you long held about your beliefs on traditions versus upon closer inspection has changed your belief about following and maybe even making your own? Let's start with the first person. TY2, CHG, Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
This is TY2CSG. I don't really have anything pertaining to the topic today. I'm now trying to digest and dissolve those things in my mind right now, so I don't necessarily have the things to add to the topic, so I'll just pass. Back to you. Tango Yankee 2, Charlie Hotel Golf.
All right, TY9, YUE, Tango Yankee 9, Yankee Unicorn Echo.
T19, why are you here? Tango Yankee 9, Yankee Uniform Echo. Hi there, controller and everyone on the net. Traditions. I don't really give a shit about tradition when I was young. I am the type that doesn't really care. I'm kind of like a slave back then. I don't care. Well, except like in the new year, people hand out the red packet with the money. That one I care because there's money. Otherwise, I don't really care. Whatever people say is bad luck and things like that. Well, yeah, I don't care. However, in the other, more like a traditional sect of Taoism that I have been through, there are many traditions that I once believed it was legit and real, and then later find out it's bullshit. So, well, without like someone actually showing you the trick, you will be actually believing those things are real because you cannot explain how it is not real. Like you don't know how to explain a magic trick. Like how did the coin just disappear? That kind of thing. And because you cannot explain it, then you kind of believe into whatever they say. And they say it's magic, they say it's Jesus, they say it's the Tao or whatever, right? You can't really say anything else, then you seem to fall into believing them. So it is like, when you see these things, it's always a good idea to have knowledge to debunk things like that and not fall into them. So when like we have Sam law, right? Sam law is like, yeah, those are BS, but you got to understand what their BS is about before you can actually judge their BS. So you gotta have the knowledge to do what they can do. Now you have like you're qualified to say they're BS, kind of like that. And eventually, of course, that's what I did, and it was quite nice, have the confidence to stand up against the BS because you understand what it is. Anyway, the mic is back to you. This is Tango Yankee 9, Yankee Uniform Echo, Echo, Echo.
TY4HAA. Yes, you definitely, in order to peep game, you have to know game, right? So if you don't know what's happening and they can pull that little trick over you, how are you going to know any difference? And there you are. You're locked into belief systems and habits and superstition patterns, all because you didn't know how it went. I mean, how many of us could walk in to any of the systems that they have in China and maneuver ourselves well without a guide? I think some of us would struggle. I know I would. So I definitely find that having a certain amount of knowledge, and if you don't know, ask somebody qualified to tell you, hey, I know what this is. I know where I'm going. Follow me, like Ashaitan, who knows what he's doing and has been through all of this. So, why fear when you already have a guide that's right there? So let's go. TY4LEI, Tango Yankee 4, Lima Echo India.
Good evening, everyone on the net. This is Tango Yankee 4 Lima Echo India. Okay, yeah, for me, what brought up to my mind was back then, I have the ex-parents, and they were really to religion, especially Christianity, and they would like tape like a cross over my head, like in the bedroom or the door. So I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about this Jesus. So I ripped it down, and then yeah, I kind of went like not believing in anything at all, and over time they got pissed at me because I wasn't really buying it. Like I would just, I don't know. They bring me to church, I just don't care. I just like, I don't know. I just stare off space or just go outside. Um, like I wasn't really into it. So, and then for my birthday, they're like, if you don't pray to Jesus, you're not having a birthday. Like, nope, I ain't praying to that dude. Fuck him. But yeah. I was at that mindset, and then one day they start bringing in this like start believing some kind of priest or something like that, some kind of dead priest, Catholic priest. He's like Vietnamese, and people worship him, and they and the ex-parent part start putting him on the walls and shit. I ripped that shit down, and I kind of messed with the altar and just wreck it. And then yeah, I was later on. I was like, we were starting getting a lot of bad luck because I was continuing attacking, like wrecking, pulling down pictures and the altar frame. I was like just each time they fix it, I mess it up again. Um, and then the ex parents keep getting bad luck and shit. And yeah, like she felt like the house was so haunted, and so there's some guy chasing, like in chains, chasing her in the kitchen. I didn't really give too much. I like she make believing, and then one night she called like a sorcerer from like Vietnam to help with their spiritual problem, whatever is going on with the house. And um, by that time, I still didn't believe in anything. But then when shit started hit the fan, like she was like like that, like all witchy and stuff like that. Like I like what the hell? Like she sounded like a witch straight up. And then yeah, she and then like oh crap, there's really some. I was getting nightmares. I turned around, see I was seeing bones. I look up the ceiling, I was seeing faces, and she's over there laughing like she's crazy. Like, and then she tell me to bow down and make and kneel to her because she's some kind of like dead relative or a dead kid that possessed her. And then yeah, it was freaky as hell. And end up I was like, oh shit, there's really something on the other side because I kept seeing shit myself. My throat was clogging up, and that's when I'm like, oh crap, I need to find some magic help, something to actually work. So I and that's when I bang into Sajan later when I went back to USA by myself. And yeah, I like, oh shit, there's really something on the other side. Like it ain't really nothing at all. So yeah, that was an eye opener for me. One of my scariest moment. TY4LEI.
TY4HAA. That is really cool. TY4LEI. I don't know how you made it, because if I was seeing that kind of crap on a regular, I would not be well, to be honest. I would not. I would have a hard time. I'd be struggling. So, yeah, You have come through so much and seen so many things. I'm really impressed with you. So, yeah, keep pushing with that. I personally wouldn't be able to handle it, but everybody has a different tolerance level. So mine is very set, very low. So, so let's move on to TY3 WNG Tango Yankee 3 Whiskey November Golf.
TY3 WNG Tango Yankee 3 Whiskey November Golf. So I think some of the traditions that we had, because Filipinos, they're very religious and very Catholic. One thing that my ex-mom used to do was every holiday or every special event, we always had to go to church. And yeah, I did not vibe with church, and I tried so hard to get like to engage just so like she wouldn't yell at me. Like I even joined like this club called Catholics in Action. It was called the CIA. Um, and yeah, it didn't work out. But every holiday and every time, it was always like, I don't want to go to church, and it was always like fear mongering, guilt setting in. Like, oh, you don't want to go to church. That means you don't love God. You don't love your mother. God only asks for 1 hour of your time every Sunday. And I was like, yeah, but I don't understand. Like, and I think I told Lay this the other time. I was all like, yeah, the first time I went to confession, the priest went to sleep and I thought he died. And then, like, he, like, snored and woke himself up and was like, oh, go pray 3 Hail Mary. So, yeah, that was kind of like a tradition we did. And then we also had another one where like every holiday we had like kind of like it was kind of like an altar, but like you had your Jesus and all that other stuff, and then you had like the dead people's pictures, and every holiday you would always have to go feed them by leaving food out for them. And I know when I first started, I did stuff like that because they were like, if you don't feed them, then they're going to be forgotten and their ghost is going to be gone forever. So I did that. But then I found out that's how you get looters, and I don't want looters. So I stopped that tradition. As for new traditions that I'm doing, um, I'm currently implementing game night. That's a tradition I'm doing, and it's not crazy, and there's no e-crap going into it, so I hope. But I feel like that is a great way to build rapport, and also, it brings laughter and joy. So that's a new tradition I'm implementing, and I'm weeding out the old shit. So, yeah, back to you. TY3 WNG Tango Yankee 3 Whiskey November Golf.
TY4HAA. Absolutely. I mean, I had somewhat of the same background. There was always the go to church. Everything was go to church. So much guilt, so much social pressure. I don't even know why that thing is still around. So much trauma it's caused to so many people over generations. I have to put a sign out there like McDonald's, traumatizing millions since since the 1800s or stuff, since the BC 2000. So let's move to the next person. TY2 GEI, Tango Yankee 2, Golf, Echo, India.
Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India. It's like the more I hear, the more glad I am that I did not grow up with a strong JC background. There's a little bit of pressure for the church going from the grandparents, but my parents were never into it, so that's a relief anyway. I feel like the traditions I grew up around were generally pretty benevolent, pretty neutral, usually made up by my own parents. Um, the only one that like really sticks out in my mind, other than like nodding along with the American holiday traditions, Easter egg hunts and trick or treating. Um, My mom would always buy us new pajamas to open on Christmas Eve. Um, like there was no wasting Christmas for us. That was not a thing. But yeah, we celebrated the gift giving, the togetherness. That was cool. Um, but yeah, I'm not really big into American holidays in general. But I did discover that I really like uh, honoring the solstices and equinoxes the way the witches do, just because that makes sense to me. You know, the rotations of the sun, the seasons changing. That's very tangible stuff that I like honoring. So, something that I sort of invented for myself. You know, there are things that I do around the year. I won't go on a whole soapbox, but like my favorite one is I make a peach pie on every summer solstice. That's my thing. Um, yeah, um, I feel like the best traditions are the ones that are not blindly held over from the commands of ancestors, but continually created and co-created, recreated by the active participants. Traditions, I feel, are something that we should take note of what the previous generation did, or what we ourselves last year did, and why, and uh, and make them living and functional. Maybe that's antithetical to the actual concept of traditions, but that's where I'm at with it. Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India.
TY4HAA. Absolutely. Before I came into this lineage, I was totally understanding the pagan traditions, Samhain, Beltane, the winter, summer, and spring and summer solstices, the full moon worship, the goddess. Yeah, I was all up in that, knew all about that. Yeah, knew about it, understood it well. Um, Again, certain traditions, having this one hand where you have a spiritual nature, and in this other hand you have organized religion, which tells you to forget about that in a way. It's very confusing. So I would say that yeah, I can understand where you're coming from on that. So let's go to TY2, Tango Yankee 2, FNG, Fox, Trot, November, Golf.
Tango Yankee 2 Foxtrot November Golf. Traditions, yes. I have grown up, I guess, mixed Vietnamese and Chinese, so we have had similar traditions and cultures in a way. But on the bright side, almost my life, until up until almost half of my life, more than half of my life, I have not lived with like one single family. So even though my parents, my mom's side is Vietnamese, my grandma has like a subsidiary of like Buddhism, and my dad's side is Chinese. So I never stay in one place, and I never have to listen. And to me, I don't follow any, traditions per se. I just follow because I have to be adapted because, I live with them. So I have no choice at the moment. But yeah, now I don't really care so much about, Chinese traditions, except maybe the New Year and just like the big days celebration for the kids purposes. I think religions wise, that have been changed dramatically. I mean, like I guess the intention and have been changed drastically in a way that is confusing. I don't even know the differences between different religions. I know some cultures have so many different traditions and restrictions and all, but I think with the newer generation, I mean, I came here 30 some years ago and I've changed. Like, forget it, screw up, F the traditions. I mean, we live in the modern society and self cultivation, and something is more practical, like the Tao you believe in, your own yin sun and your own God, your heart. Those I think is more practical and is sort of common sense in a way, and I can see that the newer generations would like to know that because the world out there is crazy and everybody have their own touch on little things and who's right? It's like I don't know. Look at all the leaders of religious belief or whatever. Things have changed drastically. I don't know for it's not for the betterment of the future or anything, but yeah, I think some traditions are completely outrageous in my opinion. For me, I don't believe in any. I just believe in what I believe. I have faith in my own Muzan, and now I'm a Taoist, so my perspective has changed completely. I do celebrate like the big events in Chinese because I have kids. At least have some sort of yeah, today is Chinese New Year, or certain things why the lunar days are different than the Gregorian calendars. Some basic stuff for them. Anyway, I'm reached my 3 minutes. Back to you, TY2FNG.
TY4HAA. Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. The different traditions and the different cultural recognitions are special. So how do you mark the time? So I was thinking about this the other day as I was thinking the things to be sunk. And what happened was, if you look at the calendar, all of the holidays that we at least have in America are commercials. They're literally designed for you to just spend money. They're not even really based in spiritual. I mean, there's one thing, or there's maybe 3 or 4 out of the group that have to do with some kind of spiritual. But for the most part, it's not that much. So to answer my own question, there were a lot of traditions when, before I say anything, I'll make another call out. Would anyone like to join the net? You can say your call sign and come in.
Tango Yankee 2 Delta November Golf.
All right. Tango Yankee 2, Delta November Golf, you have the floor.
Tango Yankee 2 Delta November Golf. Yeah, the tradition. Yeah. I'm Chinese from Indonesia, so I think it's, my grandpa is from Guangzhou, I think. Guangzhou. So it's I think when I was born, it's it's the worst scenario in Indonesia because there's a killing, like a racist killing against Chinese. So if you are born and you give your son or your daughter a name like a Chinese name, oh, it's gonna be in trouble because they all give you a hard time to for the paperwork or for all the social security, like it'll give you so much trouble. And then in that time it's like they kill like 3 million of Chinese in Indonesia. They closed all the Chinese school, like Pakwa school or something like that. So it's like we just like losing our identities, at that time. And I was born, so it's a very very tough situation. So even though we are still celebrating like a Chinese New Year and all that celebration like that. Especially like the red envelope, like Xia Juan said, is a very important thing, right? You know, hey, every time the Chinese New Year, we are like so happy, when we was a kid. Of course, like a new shoe, new clothes, like, everything's new, right? It's a lot of food and a lot of red envelope money. Yeah, it's happy, that time. So yeah, we keep celebrating on that time. And then when I was growing up and got influenced like Also, it's a Catholic tradition. My mom, my dad go to Catholic, so we just follow them. But though I having also a lot of uh, sleep paralysis though, same like Lake, like so many times. So that's why I'm looking for powers, to help me. So when now join like a Catholic, so I saying like Our Father in Heaven, something like that, right? When I was in the sleep paralysis, so I pray, Our Father in Heaven, hallowed be thy name. And then I can get up. This is like okay, it's work. The power is work. So yeah, I'm looking for the empowerment to help me actually, because I was like sleep paralysis so many times, like a week maybe like once or twice, like that. So and yeah, until right now, I think I have a lot of bad, the church people bad experience like from the church, like you know, uh, they don't want to see me like out of church, right? So they just like starting gossiping news, like bad things about me. I going to hospital, I got cancer.
I'm going to punch in right now. We have to kind of wrap it up. So, to D and G, make your final points.
Well, I think there's a pass already 3 minutes, so I just hand it over to the net controller. Tango Yankee 2 Delta November Golf.
All right, then that is pretty much it. What I have is we have a new tradition, and I'd like to be able that we are on the same page and thinking about things that can strengthen the bond. I think this is a great tradition that we have this net for all of us to participate in. It replaces several of the other types of traditions that I was accustomed to, and happily at that. So the current time in Toronto is 9 o'clock. This is your net controller, TY4 HAA, Tango Yankee 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha, concluding tonight's net. I thank you all for joining, and your perspectives deeply appreciated. Remember, you're always welcome to continue the discussion in the line chat room. Any topic is welcome. Don't be shy. Don't sit back in the corner. Bring your topic to line, and we will talk about it and you. So the net is now officially closed, and the channel is returned to normal use. We will see you again, same time, same channel. TY4HAA, Tango Yankee 4, Hotel Alpha Alpha, clear.
TY2CSG, clear.
Tango Yankee 9, Yankee Uniform Echo, Echo, Echo. Clear.
TY2 or oh shit. TY3 WFG, Tango Yankee 3 Whiskey November Gold.
Tango Yankee 4 Lima Echo Indian. India. Clear.
Tango Yankee 2, Golf Echo India.